right, so I'm just going to log into Snappic here and show you how to set up an event. It's pretty easy, but there's a couple little nifty things to note. So when you log in, it just takes you to this page and you have your events up here. You have everything else as well if you need to see resources or presets, but I always just click on events. I usually have one going at all times because I'm always testing out something, but I will go to create an event just to get started. Now, they have select a template if you need to kind of have like a quick start screen, quick templates and all of that. There's a lot of options, so I think that they're actually fantastic. But I like to customize everything. So you will create an event from scratch on this first part. There's also like an easier way after, but I'll show you that after. So create an event from scratch. And this is just a video too, just for showing kind of more people that I know that ask me about this sometimes, and as well my staff, in case you ever get tripped up. This is a good video to watch. That's going to be pretty quick. And then you can see all the ins and outs of what I do behind the scenes if you can't get a hold of me. So for this one, we'll keep it fairly easy. We're going to do photo and GIF, and then these are some of the other options, but this is if you're like adding more photo booths, adding extra sharing stations, which our enterprise account comes with one, and I think other accounts don't. So that's something to note. So I'm just going to go next. And then your event info, I always put in the event name, especially if you're running multiple photo booths. So we'd be looking here at, let's just say, test sample for now. And you can do like the venue name, and if you have extra text for any reason, the start date you'll always want to set. And so today, it is the 23rd of February, and let's say this starts at 5 o'clock. And then on some accounts, you only get it for 2 days. On my account, I can set it to any time. That's on the enterprise account. Their more basic one, which is what I think most people would need, would be for like a day. So time zone, all that. So start and end dates there. And then here, if you're doing printing, social media, email, texting, I'm gonna click on printing just to be able to show off some of the printing options. And then I don't usually do social media. I'll do email and text messaging. Microsite as well, if you're paying for the enterprise, is great. Filters if you want, just to go through all of this, I can add those on, and everything else is a little bit more, maybe advanced analytics, a little bit more later on. So you'll want to set a password, and let's see, let's just do like 111 because that's really secure. There is advanced options in here. So camera countdowns here, and that's really important, especially some people like 5, some people like 1 or none. 3 is pretty typical, and then tap to start, all of that can stay the same for now. If you ever want to get complicated, you can. So I'm just going to click on next, and then it'll take us through some of the options that we just clicked on. So limit number of sessions or number of prints per session. I disable that. Sometimes I set it at like 2, depending on the event, if it's like a kids event. So limit total number of prints. Same thing. I might just like do like 1,000 or something, but honestly, I probably wouldn't usually do that. Auto print I always enable, and then so you always get 1. That's why my photo booth spit out 1 or 2 2x6s at once. And then next, and email settings. So you kind of want to put in your own company name here. So for me, I'm just going to do Mystica, reply to my email address, which is, can't say I ever really get responses. Every now and then I get some lady from the ballet saying thanks, which is neat. Email subject, in this case, test sample, because that's like your event name. You can send them microsite link, whatever you kind of selected in that last area, if you did, or just attach the file. So that'll be like the picture or a link to it. And you can set like extra random endings to emails if you want to. So Hotmail for a good example, probably a bad example. Text messaging, you can update that too. Here's your awesome photo from awesome event. So I didn't spell that right, event. And again, you're just sending the link to get the picture. So next, it'll also tell you all the do's and don'ts there. And then give that a second. So the photo template chooser, this is important. Yeah, there's a couple of things here. So let's just go into, like if you click on template library, they have all these blanks ready to go. If I'm doing a printout, it would be a 4x6 kind of style and a single overlay. We're just gonna do the one pose just to show uploading. Otherwise, I will go over creating a new template as well. So let's do that actually right now. So if I create a template, let's say that I am going to do a square one. Most digitals are all square. Printing, I don't usually mess around with that. So we'll upload a background. I just made a sample your template. And now this is really easy, but just so that you can see it, it says click and drag to place your photo. My screen kind of zooms it in quite a bit, but let's just see here. So you just pick up, so I'm holding down my mouse pad right now, or my mouse clicker, and then I'm dragging it over my border line. This is the easiest way to do it. If you have graphics, you can make overlays. So, and that would be the difference. So you just go preview, and then that generates a preview. So yeah, it looks all right, sure. And then you go save, and you type in anything, I don't know, sample photo. I don't really actually do that every time. I usually just mash the keyboard. And then that'll save. So it's a single overlay. It's not animated or anything like that. So those will be the two options. If you have two in here, then guests can actually choose. We're just going to go next, which should take us over to the GIF, I think, or app experience first. So this is your start screen. So there's a track screens, which will give you like a second screen. That's kind of what this important message is right here, actually. So I only ever do like a photo booth screen, unless it's branding. And then you're going to go into the background library if you didn't make your own, which is honestly, I use a lot of these. There's lots of different options. Pick your experience, tap to start, all of it. So sure, tap to start, it's great. You can do other options here, such as the sharing station, which would also have like a background here. And then that's again the exact same, a track screen library. I usually just go with plain options for my sharing station. So then I just go next, because that's all I'm gonna do there. And then, so this says mini site, is that new? So microsite is where the pictures will be shared from. Now, I usually set this all up on the back end, but to give you a quick rundown, you can always just pick a template, and we can just do the generic Snappic one right now. If I click on edit, you'll be able to see, you can add your logo here and some other text. Then you just click done, and you can do passwords if you want to. I don't usually. Yeah, no, I just don't. So then next, there's a slideshow option there too, but that's a little more nitty gritty than I want to get into right now. And so digital props I do use, and I do like digital props. So well, when they feel like working, gonna go to select, and then I have some preset ones here. Usually you don't see those. There was a Puss in Boots themed event. And so it explains the cat ears and pirates. Then you can see all these random props that you can pick. You can also just select all the category props. For example, if it's a birthday, you're like, those are great. Let's do that one. I don't like to select all props from every category for every event, because I don't like Christmas props, for example, being in for Thanksgiving. That's just a personal preference, I think. So done. And that looks great. Then you're just going to hit next again. And preset filters if you want. So these are automatically applied, but I like to use the guest filters so they can select their own if they want to. I usually just pick the most popular ones. I don't want them at the booth for too long in most cases, unless it's maybe like a 16-year-old birthday party. They might enjoy that a bit more, or they want to add their own after anyways. So yeah, so you can just grab whichever ones you feel like. And then click on next. So the next part that it takes you to, and I'm hoping the templates load up the way I want them to. So earlier we made a template, and now when I click on the My Templates button, you can click on the sample photo, just upload it, super easy. Otherwise you're creating a new template every single time, which is kind of a pain in the butt, and I don't like doing that. So I will, again, so a GIF is, this is the size that I would use, is a square. GIF, I don't know what people say. And then you're gonna wanna click on settings. Don't click on edit, settings. And then that's like your number of frames. So I like to do 3 poses with a 3-second countdown and a fast playback speed. I don't really touch any of these things. Some people complain about the mirrored view thing, but like the guests do, but I don't care. So you click on that and then basically just next, enable burst. So that's your next one. Burst is the same as boomerang in Snappic. You can change the wording, but that's a little more complicated again. And then I disable GIF printing. So I do disable that. I don't know why I didn't click on that. Whatever. Okay, I'll deal with that after. So I don't want people being able to print from their GIFs and their boomerangs. But again, we're going to go to template library, click on that photo you already made once, that uploads, and then you can click on settings, and I usually do like 14 to 16 frames at a fast speed, and I reverse it. So that's already selected. The super speed capture, I think looks kind of weird. I like the choppiness of the boomerangs, of the burst, but yeah, you can choose that if you want to. And then you click on done and submit, and then you just review it really quickly, the times are right, and create event. Now, that's to go start to finish every single time. There's an even easier way to do this. So the even easier way, that is the way I usually do. I'm just gonna make sure I have everything here and I didn't miss anything for anyone. So yeah, if staff are ever noticing that there's like the countdown's off or something's happening, it's probably a backend setting that let's say I messed up on. You can call me, or this video might help you with that. Please call me. So test sample. Now, as you saw before, I went in on the home screen, went into my create an event. So on this one, what I'm going to do instead to show you the really quick way to set up an event, which can trip you up, but that's okay. If you do it right and you're just careful with it, and you'll know like what your problem is. So if you run into a problem, so click on the event you just made, or you can click it from here, but there's a duplicate button. So I go into here and then I click on duplicate. Now, when you do that, all those settings that we just did are going to be preset for you, which if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again is handy. And I'm going to do, so let's say in this one, you had a printing booth last time, but this time it's a digital. So there's a couple things you'll want to update. So in here, again, I usually keep photo for my digital booths anyways, so the features will stay the same. My event info though, because I duplicated an event, the name has to change. So test sample 2, for example, let's say the date is now next week and I'm prepping up. So if you're prepping, this is really handy. You're like, yeah, that looks great. It's going to be another 6 o'clock till the next day event. So save changes there. And then always do a test photo to make sure there's nothing weird with that. And then I also am like, well, this one's a digital, I don't want printing. So you just click on the button there for event options and click on printing to turn it off. Now, everything else. So they can still text and email for their social booth. And then my password's 111. That's your password if you're logging in to the app. Like if you triple click the top left corner and you need to get to the back area again, it's that code. So save changes. And I'm like, yeah, everything's great. The microsite's great. And then email, I'm sure is fine. Again, you'll test that all out. The text messaging will be the same again. And for the sake of just talking, I guess, the digital props, if you want to change it, you would just click on edit here. Go into there. We're going to pretend this is another birthday party. And then the sharing station, I'm like, yep, those are generic. Those are fine. That looks like a birthday party. The photo templates, though, is what you'll want to change. And to do that's really easy. You just click on them again, and then you'll just get rid of your old ones, hit the X button, and then you'll go to create a new template. Let's say it's another square because it's a digital one, and then you'll upload it the exact same way. So in this case, I would just upload a background. Let's say it's a different one. And then you make your frame cover over it. I usually do a border around my frame just to make sure I get it fairly centered. There's also all of these options on the side that you can play around with. And there is a template editor in Snappic as well. I just don't usually use it because I don't care for it. So again, I don't want to see any of that black. You can preview it. And then you'll hit save after this preview opens. So I don't see any of my border, looks good. And save. And this is where I button mash usually. I don't know why it makes you save that every time. I'm pretty sure I just have a back end of 1,000 random templates with random mishmash letters now. Again, it's a single overlay. And then you're going to click on Save Changes. And when you go to change them again, it'll be the same as last time, where you didn't have to make them every single time, which is nice. So you'll close off your old one, go back to your template library. It'll be the only one there. That's why I probably don't understand why we have to always save the template. Even I go to my template, they're always blank. So I don't know what's up with that. And then you just click it, and you'll want to change your settings again though. This has to happen every single time. This will not save. So this though does speed up everything if you're not doing an event from scratch. Now that being said though, I have messed up certain things like the text message text. It said like, thanks for stopping by this gala, but I was at a birthday party because I didn't change the text over. So again, you'll just go into your library, upload all of that, and go to settings and make sure that that is done. And that looks great. Save changes. And that is how you quickly duplicate an event. Now both of them will be ready to go, and you didn't really have to do that much extra work. Again, if it's something that needs to be more branded, you'll want to do a lot more work in here, and there is a lot more options, but just for your typical wedding, birthday party, smaller event, this is fast and easy, and I love it. So thank you for watching, and if anybody gets tripped up or has any questions, always call me. One thing I didn't mention that I will now is that there is one setting that's really hidden, and it's in your photo templates if you're printing. So if we do the printing option here, well, let me see if I can just do it from here. So when you add in a template and you have more than one pose, you have to click on a setting or else the pictures will rapid fire one after another. So let's just use the template library. Let's say it's a 3-strip. The way to fix that is actually to click on edit, and it'll open up your editor, which I don't actually love to use the editor at all times. Some of this is new though, which is cool. And what you have to do is your countdown interval. So this is the one between every photo, and this is probably one of the most annoying things that I've had. So I always set that to 3 seconds so that it's just the same as the first one. They have a couple seconds to change poses. Some people turn that up to whatever they want, so it's totally up to you. But yeah, I thought I would add that in there really quick.